sure you're not mistaken?
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credits per bottle, after all. I couldn't afford to cover for such an item if it were broken or lost.
That's strange. Well, could it be that the memo keeper couldn't afford it?
Then what should we do now?
Oh, no need to rush. Well, let's grab some drinks first. Maybe I arrived too early and she hasn't come yet. Now, let's see what kind of juice malts you all have here. Well, give me a glass of Hinam Valley, 40 years. I'll have it neat. No ice.
Wow, that's the most expensive one on the list. You have a taste for the finer things.
It's on the house, anyway.
What can I get for you?
Anything you recommend is fine.
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with Laboon juice. It's refreshing and suits your cool demeanor. Just 1 minute.
There's flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Ooh, really hits the spot. Truly the finest sherry cask-aged malt juice in the cosmos.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Is that really something that humans enjoy?
Hey, this guy doesn't know anything at all.
As long as you're satisfied, dear guests, please enjoy.
Let's give the memo keeper another half system hour. If she doesn't show up, we'll need to come up with a new plan. In the meantime, let's take stock of the situation. What do you think?
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities, but the public is unaware of it. Someone in a position of power within the family must be covering it up. It's unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the Masked Fools. If what you said about the Emanator of the Nihility is true, the situation in Penacony is a little complicated, to say the least.
Actually, there's something else I'm concerned about. Regarding Acheron. As you know, the faction that follows the path of the Hunt are some of the most dangerous folks in the cosmos to mess with. I mean, who in their right mind would impersonate the Xianzhou Alliance or the Galaxy Rangers? It's like asking for a death wish. Isn't there a saying among the Xianzhou people that the Rainbow Sect lets their luck's arrow do all the beating?
Talking. Do all the talking.
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the Galaxy Rangers have been out of sight for years, we've been keeping an eye on this region. Even the dumbest criminals know better than to mess with the Annihilation Gang, much less the Rangers. But that Acheron lady, she doesn't seem like a lunatic at all. On the contrary, she's highly logical and organized. She knows exactly when to hold back and when to strike without mercy.
And you believe that someone like her would have an ulterior motive for impersonating a Galaxy Ranger?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do have my suspicions. Maybe she knows a Galaxy Ranger, or perhaps she's trying to lure us out for some reason, which I can't figure out.
Anyway, what worries me more are the anomalies within the family. They've summoned followers from various paths for the festival. No matter how generous such a gesture is, this move seems highly unusual. Unless the invitations weren't sent by them. If that's the case, it's even more intriguing that the family insists on organizing the Charmony Festival, despite the chaos.
maybe it's Shipei the Harmony pulling the strings. You find it beyond human understanding because it wasn't arranged by humans at all. People do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abandon their principles when self-interest is involved. They believe in things they know they shouldn't, and fudge, they even break their own rules. But eons don't. They stick to their determined path and never turn back, even if they reach a dead end.
You think Shipei's will is behind all this?
It may not necessarily be Shipei. There's definitely some higher entity involved. I know it may sound pessimistic, but if human free will were reliable, why would we even need Galaxy Rangers? It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always follows the path of the hunt, or how the Express stays true to the Trailblaze despite Akavili's disappearance.
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall holds significance for the Nameless.
Oh, so you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility for their own choices because their absolutely right leader is gone?
Exactly. I believe the purpose of the journey isn't just about following a path that's always considered absolutely right. It's more about doing your best to choose the right path for yourself among countless possibilities, even with limited insight and judgment.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that people must take responsibility for their choices, because no one else can do it for them. That's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter and figure out her true intentions. Just in case. I have a backup plan if the Memo Keeper doesn't show up. This is my final backup plan. I promise.
You sure have a lot of cards up your sleeve.
Well, going back to my old career would make things a lot easier. By the way, when you were walking around the hotel, did you happen to see any important-looking guests?
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and use them as bargaining chips with the family. Or maybe we can even take their identities.
No need for that. We'll return to the Express now.
Wait. Are you getting scared? Draw your weapon. Let's make a big scene.
Are you leaving, esteemed guests? Would you like to cancel that Asdonis White Oak you just ordered?
Huh? Asdonis White Oak? But didn't you just say...
Ha ha! Looks like you are a bit intoxicated, esteemed guests. You ordered a bottle of Asdonis White Oak just a moment ago.
Looks like your Memo Keeper friend has finally arrived.
Oh, right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. You know, too many modifications and all. Anyway, let me check. Well, fork me. It says Donna's White Oak, all right. And there's a note. I'll be waiting for you on the Astral Express.
No mistake, that's her message to you. She knew the hotel wasn't safe, so she suggested we find another place.
Well, looks like we took a detour, but now it's back to the Astral Express. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
You're back? Two guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill, so I told them to wait in the parlor car.
Oh, just in time.
2 guests?
Yeah, or 2. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express, but sneaking in like that, you have no regard for etiquette.
My apologies, Conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly trust right now.
You are the Memo Keeper.
Pleased to meet you, Dan Hung. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting. I hope you enjoyed that bottle of Astana's White Oak. You sure have a refined taste.
Finally, Memo Keeper. Well, let's cut to the chase. Spill everything you know.
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Black Swan, and I serve the Garden of Recollection as a Memo Keeper. As for Acheron's story, I'm sure she knows it better than I do.
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag! You betrayed me!
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled by the family. Thankfully, this Memo Keeper came to my aid and helped me escape their surveillance unnoticed.
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping. And the process was far from unnoticed. But we did escape.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals, namely all of you.
Trustworthy? Son of a nice lady. You think I'm dumb or something? How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what secrets spill out. Then, we can talk about trust.
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
No other options? What do you mean?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's safety. I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astana star system.
This passenger is requesting...
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat and seems to be telling the truth.
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Dan Hung. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they need our help. As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed. I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other, so this was the only way I could reach out to you. Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise. To return his relics to their rightful owner. Someone once told me that every rainfall is like a gift from the heavens, a sign of their mercy upon the world. Raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows of the world. Their constant pouring is a reminder that the gods haven't abandoned us yet. So, how long has this rain been going on for?
I used to believe, just like you, that it would eventually stop. Years and decades passed. And in the end, such hope faded away before the rain did.